صلوات الله وسلامه على نبينا الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وعلى من تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد، إن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى رسول الله محمد بن عبد الله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه، وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. I've been to many trips around the world in my life as a Muslim. This trip here to Victoria has been one of the strangest, in that I flew in that airplane and I've never taken a plane like that before. So everything is just really ajib and bizarre so far. All I can say is that I wish my wife had been with me so that she could have experienced the way the plane landed. I have a really important message that I want to share with you brothers today, you brothers and sisters, you fathers, mothers, and you young Muslims. No one is excluded from today's discussion. I'm going to talk to you about the second most important issue under the sun. Second most important issue as you being a Muslim. Nothing is more important than this issue. And in terms of the actions that you can do in the course of a day and throughout your life, this issue is the most important issue after the Tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jalla. That is the importance of the Salat in the life of the Muslim and the identity of a Muslim. If a person is messing around with this issue of a Salat, pray sometime, don't pray sometime, then that individual needs to really question his iman in Allah. I'm not here to judge anyone. I just don't want to come and give a presentation about the importance of Salah. But I want to make something the backdrop of the discussion, the backdrop. And the backdrop is an authentic hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ came and he said to Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, and the rest of those companions. So you have to look at it from that prism. That the Nabi said to Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, Uthman, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, and the rest of those companions. He said to them, Salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, Innakum fi zaman, kathir ulama'ihi, qalil khutabaihi, man taraka ushra ma ya'rif, faqad dhalla, wa sayati min ba'd zaman, kathir khutabaihi, qalil ulama'ihi, من استمسك بعشر ما يعرف فقد اهتدى. He told his companions, you people, Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, you people are living during a time where there are many ulama, many scholars, and only a few speakers for the khutbah, for the durus, only a few people. He said, anyone during this time, if he leaves a tenth of his religion, he's going to go astray. If he doesn't fast on Thursday and Monday, if he doesn't do the extra qiyamul layl, tahajjud, if she doesn't wear niqab during that time, anyone who leaves off a tenth of what you know, you're going to go astray. He said there's going to come a time when there's going to be only a few ulama, and there are going to be many khutbah, people give talks. He said anyone during that time, if he holds on to a tenth of his deen, just a tenth, he prays 5 times a day, that's it. Fast the month of Ramadan, that's it. Only wear proper hijab. Doesn't wear niqab, proper hijab, that's all. That's it. He said if they do that, they will be guided. This authentic hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam goes to show the disparity and the difference between the time of the companions and the time of the people now. Our Prophet ﷺ, he is Mustafa and he is Mukhtar. He was divinely chosen by Allah. And those companions also were divinely chosen by Allah, because they had to make a lot of sacrifices. And Allah Azza wa Jal is Al-Hakim. He knew that those people were willing and ready to make sacrifices. So in explaining this hadith, I really need you brothers and sisters to pay attention and to get this premise, this hadith. During the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in one assembly, like right now, in his masjid right now, there were many ulama. Abu Bakr is an alim, Umar is an alim, Uthman Ali, Ibn Abbas, Ibn Umar, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Aisha, even from the women, ulama. In one sitting, there were many scholars. If you happen to be a neighbor to any of them, you can ask your questions and get proper fatwas. And there were not many speakers. The only one who spoke in the Prophet's masjid was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why when the Nabi died, Abu Bakr came out. He told Umar, sit down and be quiet. Umar kept talking. Abu Bakr left him. Abu Bakr went to the minbar of the Nabi and he walked up to the second step. Rasulullah used to stand on the third step. Abu Bakr occupied the second step. When he stood on the minbar, the people knew something is going on here. Because no one stood on his minbar. There were not many khutbah. There were many ulama, but not many people give the khutbah. He told them, during your time, if someone leaves a tenth of his religion, he's going to go astray. There's going to come a time, he said, where there will be many khutbah, many khatibs, many. But only a few ulama. In the city of Victoria, I've never been here before, but I don't think there's one scholar, bima'na al-kalima. I'm not talking about someone who gives a nice khutbah, a nice dars. I'm talking about an alim, with the real meaning of the word. I don't think in all of Canada, there's a real scholar. I'm talking about a scholar, alim. But there are many khutbah, many. If someone were to hold on to a tenth of his deen right now, he'll be guided away. Again, this hadith goes to show that the blueprint for success, the example for the Muslims in this religion, are those companions. What was the religion for them is the religion for us. What was the religion back then is the religion now. What was not the religion back then is not the religion now. Anybody who's here, revert or other than that, you want the formula of success? When you deal with Muslims, you go to some people from the Sham, some people from Egypt, some people from Pakistan, some people from Africa, wherever. If you really want to be successful and protect yourself in your religion, always ask people. This thing you're calling me to, did Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, did they do that? Did they understand that? And if the answer is no, then I don't want to do it. Now the question here, or the issue here about this salah, what we want to do today is, we want to take this opportunity to show you how those companions looked at the salah, and how we look at the salah. I can come and tell you the virtues of salah. Allah said this, the Prophet said that. We want to show you how those companions looked at the salah, and how the Muslims today look at the salah. And there are many examples. First example that I want to share with you is an example that was given to us in the way of a statement by one of the big scholars from the Tabi'een. The Tabi'un are those people who were taught by the companions, as you know. They never met Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but they met the companions. They're the second best generation from Al-Islam. This man, his name is Abdullah ibn Shaykh al-Uqayli. He's a fiqh person from the ulama of the Tabi'een. He said, Rahimahullah ta'ala, Kana ashabu nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam la yaruna shay'an min al-a'mal tarkuhu kufra غير الصلاة. He said that the companions of the Nabi, the best of this ummah, they didn't see the abandonment of any action as kufr other than the salah. The only thing the companions, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, and the rest of them, the only thing that they saw, if a Muslim left this thing off, they said this person is a kafir. The only thing that they saw as that was the salah. During the time of the companions, if you didn't pay zakat, the companions made excuses. They said, maybe, la'alla, larubbama, asa. They made excuses. Maybe he doesn't have the money, maybe this, maybe that. If a person didn't fast, and the companions knew you're not fasting, they would say, maybe she has her period, akramakumullah. Maybe he's sick, he doesn't have to fast. Maybe. They made excuses. You didn't make hajj. They said, maybe he doesn't have the money. Maybe he has his mother, his father, he has to take care of him. Maybe. If the lady during their time didn't wear hijab, for some reason, she didn't wear hijab, the companion said, maybe she's a new Muslim. She used to be a Jew, she used to be a Christian. She's an ama, jariya, slave. They would make excuses. But if the companions knew of a Muslim, person who was claiming Islam, and they didn't pray, the companions said, that person is a kafir. They judged. If they knew this person doesn't pray, the companions said this person is a kafir. They didn't say that just from themselves. They said that because the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-ahdu alladhi baynana wa baynahum as-salah. فَمَنْ تَرَكَهَا فَقَدْ كَفَرَ. The difference between us, the people in this room, and other people like us, the difference between us and those people is the salah. Anyone who leaves it is a disbeliever. So the Sikh, Hindu, Buddha, Buddhist, Christian, Jew, agnostic, atheist, whatever he happens to be. Rasulullah told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the difference between the people in this room and the people out there in this island of Victoria, many differences. But he said the difference between us and them, salah. Anyone who leaves it has disbelieved. As a result of that, those companions, just think about the people who you know. Your wife who doesn't pray, or she prays sometimes. You miss this prayer misstep. Our children, our relatives, we grew up, mother and father, don't pray. Brothers, sisters, don't pray. Relatives, don't pray. If that individual is in the presence of the companions, not Abu Usamah, I don't believe that that person is a kafir. But if that person was in the presence of the companions, and they knew that, they said, this guy, this lady is a kafir. That's how the companions looked at that salah. Another example, and there are many. Another person from the Tabi'een, his name is Ibrahim al-Nakhai. He's from the major scholars from the Tabi'een. Many people, they say that they're on the Hanafi madhab, and it's okay to be on the Hanafi madhab or any other madhab, but when the madhab goes against the haqq, because there are mistakes in everything, then the person has to put his madhab on the side and take what the Prophet said. But this particular man, Ibrahim al-Nakhai, he had a lot to do with the development of the Hanafi madhab because he taught the teacher of Al-Imam Abu Hanifa. Ibrahim al-Nakhai from the Tabi'een, he was taught by many of the companions. The foremost from amongst them, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Ibrahim al-Nakhai said about those companions, كانوا إذا أتوا الرجل ليأخذوا عنه العلم نظروا إلى صلاته وسمته وهديه. Back then, during that time, those Tabi'een, if they came to a man or a person to take knowledge, to learn from them, if a person came to talk to the community, if a person came to lead the khutbah in the salah, if a person went to get knowledge, he said, the people of the past, they used to look at three things. Before taking knowledge, they would look at how the person prayed, they would look at how the person behaved, and they would look at the guidance of the person. They would look at these three issues. Now, I really need you guys to concentrate here. I need you to stick with me here. They will look at the salat of a person to see, does he pray towards a sutra? Does he do raf'ul yadayn? The way the Prophet mechanically did the salat. Is that person doing that? They would pay attention to that. There was a man, the Prophet was in the masjid, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. A man came in and he prayed 2 rak'ahs very quickly, looking around very quickly, like many people pray. After saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum, the man went to Rasulullah and said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah ya Rasulullah. Rasulullah said to that man, Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, irja' fa salli, fa innaka lam tusalli. Go back and pray because you didn't pray. The man went back. He prayed again very quickly. He came, Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. The Prophet said, Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Go back and pray because you didn't pray. The man went back, he prayed. After praying the 3rd time, he came, Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Go back and pray because you didn't pray. The man said, I don't know anything. You have to teach me. This is all I know. And then the Nabi taught him. He said, if you want to make salah, make a good wudu. And then face the qibla. And then say Allahu Akbar. And then read what is easy for you from the Quran. And then say Allahu Akbar and make ruku'. And when you make ruku', stay in ruku' and calm down. And then stand up and say, Sami Allah liman hamida. And he went through the whole prayer. When you make sajda and calm down. And he went through the whole prayer. Now the point here is, many people pray. We pray. But did we pray and do we pray like the Prophet prayed? That man, he prayed. But the Prophet said, you didn't pray. One time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is showing the people, the community, the importance of salah. Everybody was in the masjid. The Nabi got on his minbar, 3 steps, so that everyone could see him, even the women, all the way in the back. He got on the step, he said Allahu Akbar, and he prayed. He went through the prayer. When he came to the sajda, he came off of the minbar, and then he made sajda, and then he got back on the minbar, and then when he wanted to make sajda, he came down, and he finished. He got back on the minbar, and he told the Muslims, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. Pray the way you just saw me pray. Now the person is born as a Muslim and he raised as a Muslim. His mother and his father taught him Islam. But if a revert person came to him and said, teach me how to pray. Brand new Muslim, his wife, someone he knows, teach me how to pray. The person may teach him how to pray, but is he teaching him how to pray according to the way the Prophet prayed? Now, this is the dilemma and the condition of our ummah. Most people don't pray. That's the reality. The people connected to you, many of them don't pray. The people connected to you, many of them don't pray. The people connected to you, many of them don't pray. And on and on. So most of the Muslims don't pray. I'm not putting people down. I'm making a point here. How is the salat with them and how the salat is with us. So many of the people don't pray. And those who do pray, the minority, do they pray the way the Prophet prayed? 5 days, every day, in front of the people, he showed them. From the time he said Allahu Akbar to Assalamu alaikum, those companions narrated every detail to us. But I'm born and raised as a Muslim, I'm madhab, and I just say, okay, I've been praying this way all my life, and I'm satisfied. That's not enough. In an authentic hadith, and we all make mistakes, and I probably have more mistakes than all of you. The Nabi, he told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man tawadda kama umira, wa salla kama umira, faqad ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi." Anyone who makes wudu the way he was commanded, anyone who prays the way he was commanded, he'll be forgiven for his sins. So some people, when they make wudu, the wudu of the madhab, the wudu of negligence, the wudu of my mother and my father, the wudu of the culture, he turns the water on and the water is wasted. That's not the wudu that he was commanded. He says, but I made wudu. But you didn't make the wudu that you were commanded. And when he was making wudu, he was washing up his arms. He took his finger, he was doing like this. That wasn't the wudu that the Nabi taught the people. And whoever makes salat the way he was commanded, he'll be forgiven for those things that he did. Again, the salat the way he was commanded. So those people of the past, if they wanted to take knowledge from a person, They would travel all the way from Mecca to Khurasan, all the way from Medina to Iraq. And when they arrived to see that sheikh, before they sat to take knowledge, they would look at his prayer. Did he pray towards a sutra? Did he do Raf'ul Yadayn? How did he go down? How did he come up? All of those things, they've been narrated to us. And they used to also look at how he was. Was he an individual who drank with his left hand? They would look at those things. So for the person who believes Islam and Iman is in my heart, that's okay. It is in your heart. But those people of the past, those companions and other than them, they used to put emphasis on what was apparent as well. Because they would look, how is the man praying? They would look at his sunnat and his hadith. Was he an individual who promised people? He comes late all the time. Again, he's drinking with his left hand. As soon as they saw this man is drinking with his left hand, they wouldn't take from him. But the most important issue was the salah. The Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Inna asraq al-nas alladhi yasraq salatuh. The biggest thief, people who steal money, they embezzle things. He said the biggest thief is the one who steals from his salah. Who's the one who steals from his salah? He's the one who's praying very fast. He's praying, he's looking around. He doesn't know how to make sajda. He's a sadiq. So those people in the past, they felt that he wasn't ameen. He didn't have a manner. If they saw that man like that, they wouldn't take knowledge from them. Another example. That's two examples. What's the point, Shaykh? The point is how the companions used to look at the salah. Don't miss the point. Point number 3. Proof number 3. Rasulullah came out to the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he told them about the Dajjal, the biggest fitna. And it's not any puzzle, it's not difficult why he told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the Dajjal is the biggest fitna ever known to Bani Adam. And he told the people, إِذَا تَشَهَّدَ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلْيَسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ أَرْبَعٍ. If any of you get into the tashahhud, the-tahiyyatu lillah, he said you should seek refuge in Allah from 4 things. And one of them is the fitna of the Masih Dajjal in every prayer for the rest of your life. Wajib prayer, sunnah prayer, Eid prayer, Fajr prayer, Dhuhr prayer, Jummah prayer, every prayer. Why did he tell the people, look for this issue in the prayer? But that's not the point. He told the people about the Dajjal. When the Dajjal comes, he's going to be on the earth for 40 years. 40. The Prophet said the first year is going to be like a year. The first day is going to be like a year. The second day is going to be like a month. The third day is going to be like a week. And the 27 subsequent days are going to be like our days. So if someone asks you, you young brothers, the Dajjal, how long is he going to be on the earth? What you going to say, little man? 40 years. The first day, he'll be on the earth for how long? For 40 days. The first day, like a year. Second day, like a month. Third day, like a week. And the rest of the days, like our days. The normal days. When the companions heard that, the companions said, Ya Rasulallah, kayfa nusalli? How do we pray? If he's going to be here the first day like a year, how do we pray? The time is going to be extended. How do we pray? That goes to show their identity. The most important thing to them was, okay, that the Dajjal is coming. How do I pray? How do I hold on to my prayer? He told them, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, qaddiruha taqdira. Try to figure it out. Estimate the time for Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. If the people today heard this hadith from the Nabi for the first time, the people for the first time, the way the people are, the companions, they said, kayfa nusalli? How do we pray? That's their concern. The people today, a Dajjal, 40 days, first day like a year, second day like a month, third day like a week, and then the subsequent days like a day. Person gonna say, well, I hope he comes and the first day the NBA finals are there. I hope he comes in the first day, it's still my vacation time. He's going to come the first day. How long would I be able to sleep? That's what the people are seeing today. But the companions weren't like that. Their mindset, their hearts, their identities were about what they learned from the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. That's a proof of the importance of the Salah with the companions. Another issue about that, I can't let it go by, is that the companions, again, unlike the people today, they didn't ask questions like, Ya Rasulullah, how, why? They didn't ask those questions. 40 days and 1 day is like a year? How, why? They didn't ask those questions. When Allah Ta'ala established things about himself in the Quran, he just accepted it. Ar-Rahman, ala al-arsh istawa. Allah, Ar-Rahman, is over his throne. The companions never said how, why, when, where. They never said these things. They used to hear the Quran, they used to hear the Sunnah of the Nabi, and they didn't dig into the issues like that. Even if they were like mu'jizat and difficult to understand and comprehend. Point number 4, the Salah with the companions. And what was collected by Imam al-Bukhari, one of the tremendous tabi'een. His name is Muhammad ibn Shihab al-Zuhri. Any long hadith that you know of, any hadith that's long, they revolve around this imam. He's from the Sigar tabi'een, in that the majority of the people who he took his knowledge from were tabi'een. So he's from the Sigar tabi'een, as opposed to the Kibar tabi'een, Hasan al-Basri, Ibrahim al-Nakhi, Sa'id ibn Musayyib. Those people took the majority of their knowledge from the companions. This man was a tabi'een. He took the majority of his knowledge from tabi'een, but he met many of the companions. In Sahih Bukhari, he said that he was in Sham, and Anas ibn Malik, the companion, went to Sham, radiyallahu anhu, to teach the people. Ibn Shihab az-Zuhri said, I went into the room where Anas ibn Malik was, and he was crying. I said to him, Anas ibn Malik, what makes you cry? He said, Anas ibn Malik, the companion, لا أعرف شيئا مما كنا عليه على عهد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إلا هذه الصلاة وهذه الصلاة قد ضيعت. Anas said to this man from the Tabi'in, he said, I don't recognize from what you people are doing anything that we used to do during the time of the Nabi. What we used to do and you people are doing, I don't recognize anything except the Salah. And this prayer that I do recognize, it has been lost. Now pay attention now. Pay attention. Anas ibn Malik told the Tabi'in, I don't recognize what we used to do. During the time of the Nabi, they had a brotherhood unlike the brotherhood that came after them. They didn't have racism between themselves when they were Muslims. This one is, where you from, my brother?
Libya.
This one is from Libya. He had no problem with the one from Algeria. Even in Algeria, this one is a Berber, that one is not a Berber, they got problems with each other. In the Gulf states, they got problems with themselves. The Gulf people, they think they're better than the people from Egypt, and from Algeria, and Morocco, and Pakistan. Pakistans, they have their issues. Afghanis, everybody has it. In Africa, everybody has their issue. Somalia. Our Somalia, a town, a city, ripped itself apart. He said, we didn't have that stuff. We had brotherhood. I don't recognize that. With the Tabi'een, what do you think is the case right now? They had this concept that they used to love for their brothers what they loved for themselves. So he said, I don't recognize that with you people. This issue of racism, and I don't want to get too far off into that, but I think it needs to be mentioned. During the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr was an Arab. He was an Arab, a pure Arab from Quraysh. He became the brother of Bilal ibn Rabah. Bilal was Ethiopian, Habashi, black, Ethiopian. They were brothers. The two of them were the brothers of Salman and Faris from Persia. Look at the difference between an Arab, Ethiopian, and Persian. And the three of them were the brother of Suhaib al-Rumi. Suhaib grew up in Rome. Look at the difference between them. And then we have the fifth one, people like Abdullah ibn Salam. He was a Yahudi. A Yahudi. Allah said about the Yahudi in the Quran, لَتَجِدَنَّ أَشَدَّ النَّاسِ عَدَاوَةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الْيَهُودَ وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. But when the Yahudi accepted Islam, he became the brother to the rest of them. Anas ibn Malik said, I don't recognize this with you people. During the time of the Nabi, if the masjid needed to be built, those people were willing and ready to roll up their sleeves and build the masjid and give them money. And all of the things that they used to do. He said, I don't recognize this. He said, the only thing I recognize from you people is the Salah. And the Salah has been lost. Now, some of you may think, when you hear this, Salah has been lost, you may think that Salah being lost, it means that they didn't pray. It didn't mean that. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask one of you guys, what did this mean? Because you have to understand this. What did Anas ibn Malik mean when he said the Salah had been lost with the Tabi'een? It didn't mean, like us, the guy works and he doesn't make Jummah. The guy doesn't make Fajr. He prays, but he misses Fajr. His wife misses Fajr. He didn't mean that. What he meant by that was one of the mu'jizat of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of the things that the Prophet told the people. The Prophet said to Abu Dhar radiyallahu anhu, Ya Aba Dhar, kayfa bikum, idha kanat alaykum umara, yu'akhiruna as-salat an waqtiha. Qala Abu Dhar, Ya Rasulullah, ماذا تأمرنا به؟ قال صلى الله عليه وسلم صل الصلاة لوقتها وإن أدركتها معهم فصل معهم تكون لك نافلة. Abu Dhar, how do you think it's going to be when you get some leaders? The Muslims have leaders who delay the salah from the proper time. They let salah come in and go out before they pray. Abu Dhar said, Ya Rasulullah, what should we do if we're living during that time? The Nabi wasn't living during that time, but he told about it. So mu'jiza. He told Abu Dhar, if you're living during that time, when the salah comes in, pray it. And then come out and pray it with them. It'll be a nafilah. That's what Anas ibn Malik meant. Anas ibn Malik, when he said that the salah had been lost, he was talking about Yazid. He was talking about Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi. What's today? What's today, Akhi? What's today? Friday. During that time, Yazid ibn Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. May Allah be pleased with Muawiyah and his father Abu Sufyan, and may Allah give Yazid what he deserved. Al-Muhim, during that time, Yazid, he used to delay Salatul Jummah. They used to pray Jummah at Maghrib time. Not Asr time, Maghrib time. And they would dare anyone in the community. If we catch you praying Jummah at the right time, we got to deal with you. Even Anas ibn Malik, the narrator of this hadith, the one who was crying, Al-Hajjaj took an iron pole that was hot and he branded Anas ibn Malik, the companion of the Nabi. He branded him and he put a thing in his skin, on his hand, and he called it Atiq al-Hajjaj. He killed over 600 of the companions of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the point here is, Anas ibn Malik told the people, I don't recognize anything that we used to do except the salah. And the salah has been lost. What does it mean the salah was lost? That the leaders were causing the Muslims to make it late. It didn't mean that the Tabi'een didn't pray at all like the people today. The salah is lost with us. The woman doesn't pray. If her husband is not there, she won't pray. The husband won't pray. He has a job. He doesn't pray. He comes home at the end of the day. He prays Dhuhr, Asr, and Isha and Maghrib all at one time. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said about one of the 5 things that he was given that no one else was given, وَجُعِلَتْ لِيَ الْأَرْضُ مَسْجِدًا وَطَهُورًا فَأَيُّمَا الرَّجُلُ أَدْرَكَهُ الصَّلَاةَ فَلْيُصَلِّ. The earth, it has been made a masjid and a purifier for me. So any man or woman from my ummah, when salat time comes, you have to pray. If he can't come to the masjid, no problem. He has to pray. He's in that airplane, he has to pray. Whatever the case is, there are only a few places you can't pray. You can't pray in the graveyard, in the maqbara. You can't pray where the camels are, and you can't pray where there's najasat. Other than that, this place right here, this is a masjid. And not only is it a masjid, but you can make tayammum if you don't have any water. So the person who's a student, you young brothers, you young sisters who are students in the university, as Muslims, you don't have the right to go to school and not pray. It's the responsibility of the community, responsibility of your parents, responsibility of right-thinking Muslims to take the initiative and go to the school and say, hey, listen, this is the situation. Now, if there's a window of opportunity where they can go to school and come back and Dhuhr is not out, then no problem. But he said, any man or woman, if the salat time comes, the earth is made a masjid and a purifier. If the time comes, it is not acceptable for the Muslim to allow salat to come in and to go out. He's a doctor. And he does brain surgery, and he does heart transplants and liver transplants. He has to pray. But how? He's in the middle of transplanting the heart or the liver, and he says, okay guys, hold on, let me go pray. No. The fiqh of Islam allows him to combine Dhuhr and Asr, to combine Maghrib and Isha. Don't let the salat come in and go out, and you just let it happen like that. That's a sign of kufr. How did the companions look at the salat? How? And what was collected by Imam Ahmed, as well as Imam Abu Ya'la al-Mawsili in his book, Al-Musnad, and other than them, an authentic narration. The Prophet ﷺ was walking to his masjid and he saw a man outside making salah. This man drew a square for himself and he was inside of the square praying in the street for everybody to look at him. Rasulullah went to the masjid. When he got to the masjid, the people started praising that man. Rasulullah said to his companions, who will go and kill that man for me? Abu Bakr said, I will. Abu Bakr went to kill the man. The man was in sajda. Abu Bakr came back. He didn't do anything. He said, Ya Rasulullah, the man was in sajda. The Nabi became angry and agitated. He raised his voice. He said, who will go and kill that man for me? Umar radiallahu anhu said, I will. Umar went and he started rolling up his sleeves. He got there, the man was still in sajda. Umar came back. He's in sajda, Ya Rasulullah. The Nabi became more agitated. He said, who will kill this man for me? Ali ibn Abi Talib said, I will. He said, you? I don't think you're going to find him. Ali went, the man was gone. The Prophet told the people, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, لَوْ قَتَلْتَمُوهُ لَكَانَ أَوَّلْ فِتْنَةٍ وَآخِرُهَا. If you people would have killed that man, he would have been the first and last fitna. You wouldn't have had the fitna of Palestine, of Iraq, Kashmir, Somalia. You wouldn't have these fitna that the Muslims are dealing with. So the point of this hadith is what? The benefit of the hadith is what? When those companions saw the man in salat, they respected the situation. The Nabi, if he was traveling and he wanted to make a ghazw on some of the people, he would say, let's wait until Fajr time to see if we hear the adhan. If we hear the adhan, we will leave him and keep going. He used to give that kind of respect to people who pray. He would give that kind of respect. Not like us, again, I told you. If they went to a man to get knowledge, they would look how he prayed. Today, if someone came to you, or to you, anyone who said, I want to marry your sister. I want to marry your sister or your daughter. You're going to say, do you have a job? Yes, I have a job. Okay, no problem. He starts asking people, you know about this guy and his companions? Yes, he's a good guy. Does he drink khamr? If they said, yes, he drinks khamr, everybody here is going to say, Wallahi, you're not marrying my sister. And rightly so. We start asking about him. If we find out he doesn't pray, but he has a good job, we'll still let him marry the girl. Although drinking khamr is lesser than not praying. Leaving salah is a bigger kaba'ir than riba, zina, khamr, all of that. Leaving off prayer is kufr. It's an action of kufr. Drinking khamr is a kabira from the kaba'ir. I'm not saying it's small. It's a kabira from the kaba'ir. Riba from the akbar al-kaba'ir. Murder from the akbar al-kaba'ir. As-salah, worse than all of that. Because salah is kufrun billah, to leave it off. For that reason, Al-Imam Ibn Hazm, one of the great scholars of Andalus from Spain, he said, I don't know any sin after shirk that's bigger than a person allowing salah to come in and go out and he doesn't pray. So the scholars saw abandoning salah, the second biggest sin after shirk billah, bigger than murder. So when those companions saw that man praying, they didn't kill him. It was a shubha. They said, yeah, the Nabi told us to kill him, but the man is praying, he has a hurma. Similar to that is what happened with the companion, Hisham ibn Hakim. He was reading Surah Al-Furqan with a qira'ah, recitation that Umar didn't know. Umar memorized Surah Al-Furqan. He heard that man reading. Umar said, I was about to snatch him up, but he was praying. So I left him. And when he finished, I snatched him up. And I dragged him to the Nabi. I took him. The Nabi said, let him go, Umar. What's the deal? He said, he was reading Surah Al-Furqan, the Quran, the way you didn't teach me. The Nabi said, read. The man read Surah Al-Furqan. He told Umar, read. Umar read Surah Al-Furqan. The Nabi said, that's how it was revealed. It was revealed like this and this. 7 ahraf. Different qira'at. The point again is, Umar respected the fact that the man was praying. You want to know the salah with the companions? Then look at this situation. The murder of Umar radiallahu anhu. You guys have to pay attention now. The murder of Umar. Umar has some drama, he has some beef, as you all know. He has some static with a man who was from Persia. He didn't like the judgment that Umar gave concerning his problem that he had with his Muslim owner. He became upset and he said, I'm going to kill him. Like the coward that he was, he had to go behind Umar to get him. That's how cowards are. Cowards will never tell you in your face what they're thinking, what their beef is, what their issue. They always want to get you at a time of ghafla when you're not paying attention. Talk about you behind your back. That's the characteristic of the jubana, the coward. As for a man, he says, look, this is my issue with you, and he tells you, let's deal with it. So this man had to figure out, what's the best time to try to kill Al-Faruq, the Amir al-Mu'minin? He chose the best time for him, the coward, which was while Umar was praying. Because he knew, once Umar starts praying, he's not thinking about anything else. Like the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He used to be in his house, they said, Kana fi mihnati ahli. When he was in his house, he used to be in the service of his family. They said, but when the adhan went off, he left them like he didn't know them. He left them and went out. He used to say to Bilal, radiyallahu anhu, Ya Bilal, arihna bis-salah. Make the adhan and make us comfortable with the prayer. Give us raha. So when he started praying, he was in communication with Allah. Not like the people today. I just got to get it out of the way. I just got to pray real quick, get it out of the way. He gets up for Fajr. If he gets up for Fajr, if she gets up, no sunnah. Just and jump back in the bed. I need Fajr, that's it. He used to say, Ya Bilal, arihna bis-salah. Salatul Tarawih. At Tarawih, that word Tarawih comes from resting. Sakina that they used to get in that prayer. Umar was praying. Pay attention, guys, come on. Umar was praying. While he was praying, the mujrim, the criminal, the he came and he cut his stomach open. And from Umar, he cut 14 other people on the way out. When Umar was stabbed in the stomach, the companions didn't stop praying. Umar radiallahu anhu took Abdurrahman ibn Auf, who was right behind him, because from the sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is in the first row right behind the imam are the ulul nuha, the people of knowledge, the ulama, so that if there's a mistake, they can correct the mistake. And also, pay attention guys, the people in the first row, the people in the second row will look at them. Whenever they moved, the second row and the third row will move. Not like the people today. When the imam says Allah, then the people start moving today. No discipline in the salah. It's the cultural prayer. Many people don't pray. And then those who do pray, it's the cultural prayer, being just all over the place. Before the Nabi would start the prayer, he would tell the people so many things. From what he would tell them was, La tusabituni, La tusabituni. Don't race me in the prayer. Al-Bara ibn Azib, he said, when the Nabi would put his head on the ground for sajda, we wouldn't move until he put his head on the ground. And then that's when we put our heads. The people in the first row. And then the second, third row would move subsequently. Go to any masjid today. Any masjid. The people are competing with the imam. They come up before the imam. They go down before the imam. Ruku before the imam. Qiyam before the imam. And so forth and so on. Anyway. Abdurrahman ibn Auf, he moved up. And he started praying. And Abdurrahman ibn Auf obviously prayed with a short surah. It wouldn't make sense for him to start reading Surah Al-Baqarah. There's a catastrophe, musibah. So he prayed with a short surah. The point is, if we were praying and the imam, Allah forbid, caught a heart attack, and we stopped praying and we called it EMS, Emergency Medical Services, 911. It is 911 in Victoria, right? Because you guys are so far out, maybe another number. I don't know. If we stop praying and we call the EMS, hey, the imam, we got a heart attack, and we're going to make this now for the salah. We're going to start it. No one can blame us. We're trying to save the life of the man. Can't blame us. All of those companions were there. Nobody stopped. Nobody stopped. The story doesn't stop here. The benefit doesn't stop here. They took Umar home and they took those people who were killed home, buried them. When Umar was in his house, the people actually thought Umar may live because he was strong. They were hoping he would live. They gave him some milk. When he drank the milk, it came out of his intestines. The Arabs knew he's going to check out. He's going to die. The milk came out of his intestines. His life was slowly slipping away. He started to lose consciousness. The people said, don't let him lose consciousness, because if he goes out, that's it. He went out. People came, tried to wake him up. He wouldn't wake up. Ibn Abbas, from the ulama of the companions, he said, I know what will wake him up. I know. They said, what? He said, Amirul Mu'mineen, Ya Umar, waqtu salah. Umar woke up. It's an authentic hadith. This is not some khurafat, kalam farid. Ya Amirul Mu'mineen, waqtu salah. It's time for salah. Umar woke up. He said to the community, Wallahi, la imana liman la salata lahu. There's no iman for the one who doesn't pray. He is not a mu'min if he doesn't pray. That's the salah with those companions. When Umar radiallahu anhu heard those words, they were enough to wake the man up. And the person today, he says, I just thought salah. Allah's ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's just the salah. And iman is in my heart. It's just the salah. The Nabi told us, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, inna awwala ma yuhasabu bihi. Inna awwala ma yuhasabu bihi al-abdi min a'mal. a'mali yawm al-qiyamah as-salah. The very first thing Allah is going to ask you about yawm al-qiyamah is your prayer. Birrul walidain is important. Riba is dangerous. Zina, dangerous. Khamr, dangerous. Many things important, many things. The very first thing Allah is going to ask you about is your prayer. Did you make it? Did you make it on time? How did you make it? The man came, Ya Rasulullah, what's the most important deed? What's the best deed? He told the people, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as-salat ala waqtiha. Praying at the right time. And then after that, birrul walidain. And then after that, al-jihad fi sabilillah. Come on, Ummatul Islam. The person who's sitting here, the person who was sitting here, Salatul Fajr comes and goes. And you think that that's okay? No, that's not okay. Something's wrong with your iman, your Islam. And I'm not judging anyone, because everybody here is going to miss Salah. It happened with the Sayyid Bani Adam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was on a journey with his companions. He told Bilal, you don't go to sleep. You have to wake us up when it's time for Fajr. So they went to sleep. The Nabi woke up and the sun was up, and he found Bilal sleeping. He said, Ya Bilal. Bilal woke up. He said, what happened? Bilal said, Ya Rasulullah, the thing that took me took you. I couldn't help it, I fell asleep. The Prophet, he told the people, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, لِنَتَحَوَّلْ مِنْ هَذَا الْمَكَانِ فَإِنَّهُ مَكَانُ الشَّيْطَانِ. Let's move from this place. This is the place of shaitan. And then he went over there, made wudu, he made 2 sunnah rakats, and then he prayed Fajr Jama'ah after the sun came up. So from the benefit of that hadith is, even the Nabi inadvertently missed Salah. Human being. You're not responsible if you sleep and you didn't need to sleep. The pen has been lifted. From the benefit of this Salah, from the benefit of this particular hadith is, when a person doesn't pray, and you guys with me? You guys with me? From the benefits of that incident, if a person doesn't pray, Fajr, that's the place of shaitan. His bedroom, his house, that's the makan of shaitan, day in and day out, for not praying Salah al-Fajr. From the benefits of the hadith, if you wake up late for Fajr, you can still pray 2 sunnahs of Fajr. Rakat al-Fajr khayru min ad-dunya wa ma fiha. That's just 2 rakat. What about Fajr itself? Lastly, guys, and there are a lot of things that we can mention, but lastly, from the benefits of how the companions used to look at the Salah. If someone were to ask you, what were the last words that came out of the mouth of our Prophet and our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? This is a trivial question for every Muslim. Ali ibn Abi Talib, he told us, anyone who wants to know the last words that came out of his mouth, then come. The people gathered around Ali. Ali told the people, when the Nabi was dying, he lost consciousness. He was dying. The days he was sick. He would come out to the Salat, one man on his right, one man on his left, and they would bring him out to the Salat with a big bandage on his head. And then he would sit down right behind Abu Bakr and try to pray. Abu Bakr wasn't having it. He wasn't having leading the Nabi in Salah. So he told the Prophet, you lead. The Prophet couldn't even say Allahu Akbar where the people hear it. He used to just say Allahu Akbar. And Abu Bakr would say Allahu Akbar so the people can hear it. He was that sick, but he was trying to show the community the importance of the Salah. He came out. Or he was dying, and he said. He lost consciousness. He was unconscious for some time. And then he woke up. He said to the people, As-salat, as-salat, wa ma malakat aymanukum. Take care of the prayer, take care of the prayer. And take care of your right-hand possessions. Take care of your slaves. Take care of your daughters, your sons, your women. Those people under your supervision. And then he lost consciousness. A long space of time went and the people were nervous, he was out. He woke up after a long time. What did he say? As-salat, as-salat, wa ma malakat aymanukum. Take care of the prayer, take care of the prayer, and take care of those under your supervision. And he lost consciousness. A long period of time when everyone is looking, agitated, anxiety. He woke up. What did he say? Allahumma ighfir li ummati. Well, he could have said, have mercy upon. He said to the people, as-salat, as-salat, wa ma malakat aymanukum. Take care of the prayer, take care of the prayer, and what your right hands possess. And then he died, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The last words that came out of the mouth, the prophetic words, as-salat, as-salat, wa ma malakat aymanukum. So the question now is, to each and every one of you, parents, do you think that the Nabi would say those last words, abathan, just kalam, just something to say? Or because those words were extraordinarily important in the life of every single Muslim. Taxi driver, he has to pray. Airplane pilot, he has to pray. Brain surgeon, he has to pray. Student, all of the actions of the 5 arkan. The shahada, that's in your lisan, in your heart. So it's an i'tiqad, it's what you believe. The other four, salah, zakah, sawm, hajj. Those other 3, you only have to do them if you have the ability. You don't have to fast. Women don't fast sometimes. Traveler doesn't fast. Sick doesn't fast. You don't have to go to hajj. You can have all the money in the world. Your wife has $10,000 this year. Extra money. If she doesn't have a mahram, hajj is not wajib upon her. The way to go to Mecca is not safe. Hajj is not wajib upon you. Fasting, zakat, all of that. It is predicated upon your ability. As for salah, it's never taken off of you. Ever. Never, ever, ever. Never. If the person is paralyzed and he has his aql, he has to pray, lying down. Whether he's facing the qibla or not. His feet are facing the qibla. That's just the way he is in the hospital. He has to pray. If he loses his intellect, then that's a different issue. But that salat is never taken off of you. That's from the importance of that prayer in the life of the Muslim. How in the world is the Muslim going to say? Any Muslim, Allah is Ghafur Rahim. And Musa, the Kalim of Allah, Sadaqa Musa. When he told the Nabi, go back to your Lord because your people won't be able to keep up with those prayers. They won't be able to do it. You have those from amongst them who will be able to make 5. They're committed to the prayer, but they miss here and there. It's just like that. They'll make 4, but that fajr, they're not going to make the fajr. Or they'll make fajr, but when it's early, they won't make it. And then there are the people who only pray Jummah. Then there are those who pray only Salat al-Eid. And then there are those who only pray if they're around people who are praying. And then there are those who pray without wudu. And then there are those, and on and on and on and on and on. And I don't know you people. I don't know you people. But I know the vast majority of Muslims don't pray. Everybody look at his own personal life. His relatives, his neighbors, his wife's relatives, her husband's relatives, the brothers, the majority of the Muslims don't pray. As a result of that, the problem in Syria is not strange. Somalia is not strange. Palestine and situation is not strange. And Iraq. Where is the Muslim of Allah for a group of people who don't pray? Allah mentioned ayat in the Quran. وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. You have a problem, you have an issue, then seek Allah's help by having sabr and praying. If the marriage is going to break up, then pray together. You yourself make salah. Something, whatever the issue is. You want to pass the exam? Then pray to Allah. How? You don't pray when you need Allah, Allah will be there for you. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold on all together to the rope of Allah and don't be divided amongst yourselves. Some of the mufassirin of the Quran from the Salaf, they said, the rope of Allah is the Salah. The rope of Allah is the Salah. Pray. Don't be like those guys, Abu, me. I have a lot of children from the now. I'm living, everything is okay. I have some money. I don't come in, I don't visit you, I don't give you salams, I don't see you. Something happens. Now I need money. Now I come to you when I come to you, I'm embarrassed because I didn't come to you before. I used to not reach out to you before. But I got a problem now when I come to you. Don't be like that. Now, Allah is not like that. Allah is not like that. Allah is Ghafur Rahim, He's Al-Ghani, He's Al-Jawad, and so on. But how is a person going to be doing crazy things? He doesn't practice his religion. He doesn't do things. He doesn't pray. And then when his wife has to get an operation, he turns to Allah. The wife is about to have a baby. Now he turns to Allah. You're not praying. So the point here, brothers and sisters, this community in Victoria, a lot of things that we can talk to you about. I advise you people to know part of the identity of the Muslim. You see that baby who's screaming, that baby? Any Muslim child growing up, drinking the pure milk of the mother, the pure milk of the mother, the fitra that child is on. Part of who that child is from day one, it has to be instilled in the mind and the spirit of that child. In his spirit, the importance of Salah. If his mother and his father didn't do that, he'll find Salah difficult within himself. He'll come and she doesn't see the importance of the prayer. It's not all his fault. That's the way he was trained and grew up. He didn't see his mother and father praying. Those people of the past, from those companions and those tabi'een and those people like that, they used to deal with the youngsters seriously with this prayer. Starting with the Nabi, Muru abna'akum bis-salah, wa hum abna' 7 sinin, wa dribuhum 'alayha wa hum abna' 10, wa farriqu bainahum fil madaji. Order your children to pray when they're 7 years old. 7. How old are you, little man? 11. Order your children to pray. Stand up for a minute. What's your name? Huh? This is my main man right here. Right here. 11 years old. Sit down. Order your children to pray when they're 7. And when they hit the age of 10, hit them. The meaning of hitting is to just make them understand. Sometimes you shouldn't hit them. Sometimes you should even reward them. It depends on the situation. You can't hit them until they hate praying. Maybe he's 10, he doesn't pray, you bring him, and you just talk to him, and maybe even give him a gift, and he didn't pray. And you make him afraid of Allah, Yawm al-Qiyamah, and so forth and so on. It's not like the more than life itself, and you're this and you're that, and you're a Muslim, and da-da-da. You know what the Prophet said about the people who don't pray? He said that the people who don't pray Yawm al-Qiyamah will be raised up with Fir'aun, and Haman, and Umayr ibn Khalaf, and Abu Jahl. That's an authentic hadith. People who don't pray, they'll be raised up Yawm al-Qiyamah with Fir'aun, Haman, Umayr ibn Khalaf, and Abu Jahl. You want to be like Fir'aun? The boy gonna say, A'udhu billah, Fir'aun, A'udhu billah. So you don't always hit him. So we end on that, but we want to end on it by reminding you of the backdrop of this discussion. The backdrop is the hadith. Verily, you people are living in the time when there are many ulama and only a few khutaba. Whoever leaves 1/10 of his religion is going to go astray. There's going to come a time when there will be many khutaba, only a few ulama. Whoever holds on to 1/10 of his religion, he'll be guided aright. So we want to hold that to your mind. Keep your mind on that. It goes to show the virtues of the companions. Those people, when they embrace Islam and they walk down the street, if they turned the corner, if they left the building, It could have been the last day on the face of this earth for them. And then some people come and they curse the companions. They curse Aisha and say that Aisha was a zaniya and Abu Bakr and Umar were homosexuals. And then other people come and say, yeah, we can cooperate with them. Yeah, they're okay. What kind of religion are you on? What kind of religion? How are you understanding your religion? Those companions, Bilal and those people, if they walked outside during that time, it could have been the last day that they walked down that street. They're the blueprint. They're the example. Someone came to me when I first became a Muslim. They told me, I went into the masjid, they turned the lights down, we were a big circle, they put a white cloth and a green cloth, and they got in a circle with the bukhur, and they started saying, ooh, 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 ooh. I said, hey, what is that? Doesn't feel right. They say, hey, Allah said, Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. With the dhikr of Allah, the hearts became tranquil. I said, I know, but did Abu Bakr and Umar, Uthman and Ali, did they take that ayah and go, ooh, you little man, someone comes to you and says, to you young brothers, put a bomb in the bus, put a bomb in the plane, put a bomb in the local library, put a bomb in the library. And Iraq, Afghanistan, Philistine, look what they're doing. Put a bomb and blow them up. Why are you going to do that? Because Allah said, فَقْتُلُوا الْمُشْرِكِينَ حَيْثُ وَجَدتُّمُوهُمْ. Kill those mushrikeen when we find them. Allah said that. Did Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, did they understand that ayah like that? No. So you can't understand it like that. What was the religion for them? The religion for us. Because if they left a tenth, they would have been astray. And if we hold on to a tenth, we'll be guided aright. If we hold on to a tenth. So don't tell me we're like that. We're not like that. They're on another level altogether. That's the first point. And the very last point, as-salat as-salat. وَمَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. This is what we wanted to present. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those people of Muslimin and protect us from being of the people who enter into the saqar. They will say to him, مَا سَلَكَكُمْ فِي سَقَرٍ قَالُوا لَمْ نَكُنْ مِنَ الْمُصَلِّينَ. Why do people wind up in the hellfire? They say, we weren't from those people who pray. We didn't pray at all. And we pray to Allah that He also doesn't make us of those people who He said, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. Woe unto the people who do pray. They do pray, but they're negligent about their prayer. The lady is praying with no socks on, not covering up her aura. She's praying with the wrong hijab on. She's not praying the correct way. The man is praying and he's not praying with the right clothes on. He doesn't do istinja. He doesn't do istinja. He has najasa on him. Can't pray like that. So we don't want to be from these people who Allah mentioned about them. وَقَدِّمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا. Yawm al-Qiyamah will bring their deeds and will make them scattered particles. You know, if you have a pillow and there's a ray of light coming through, you hit the pillow, those particles, Allah will make the deeds of people like that. He said, do you know who the muflis is? أَتَدْرُونَ مَنَ الْمُفْلِسِ? You know who the muflis is? No, he's the one who doesn't have any money, bankrupt. He said, no. And muflis min ummati alladhi yati yawm al-qiyamah bi salatin wa zakatin wa sawmin wa hajjin wa qad daraba hada wa shatama hada wa akala mal hada ila akhiri. Come with no deeds. He thought he was doing good. She thought she was doing good, but it was to no avail. No avail. He didn't do it the right way. Either he didn't do it at all, or he didn't do it the right way. Stand like the munafiqeen. إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَهُوَ خَادِعُهُمْ وَإِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ قَامُوا كُسَالَى يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسَ وَلَا يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. The hypocrites, they try to trick Allah, but Allah tricks them. When they stand up for prayer, they are lazy. They pray at the last minute. They get up at the last minute. And And when they pray, they only pray so that people can see that they're praying. As for the person with taqwa, person with iman, person knows this salat, I'm going to be asked about it. He makes the proper wudu, and he gets through that salat, and he's concentrating about what he's doing and what she's doing. هذا وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. بارك الله فيكم وأحسن الله إليكم. May Allah Ta'ala reward you brothers and sisters for your good listening.